The latest developments in Formula One have sparked intense debates, and one of the most talked-about topics revolves around Red Bull's approach to its driver lineup. Lawson's struggles in the first two races have raised serious questions, putting his future with the team under scrutiny. With Red Bull's standards at an all-time high, is the team already considering a replacement, or is there a deeper issue at play? Lawson, who was expected to be a strong contender alongside his teammates, has found himself under immense pressure after failing to deliver notable performances. His difficulties were especially evident in China, where he faced 3 disqualifications and still couldn't secure a single point. Meanwhile, Yuki Tsunoda has been making waves with his consistent performances, proving that he is more than capable of taking on greater responsibilities. The team's strategy might have cost him a few points, but his strong showings on Saturdays suggest that he has the potential to be a serious contender for a promotion. However, replacing a driver is never a straightforward decision, and Red Bull is facing a dilemma. Max Verstappen has set an exceptionally high benchmark, extracting every bit of performance from a highly sensitive car. His ability to handle its demanding nature has made him one of the most dominant drivers on the grid. Naturally, any driver placed alongside him would have a tough time adjusting, a point that has been emphasized by those closely observing the team's dynamics. 4-time world champion Max Verstappen has been vocal about the challenges of driving the current Red Bull car. He pointed out that, compared to other teams, the performance gap between their two drivers is significantly larger. According to him, this isn't just about driver skill, it's a reflection of how difficult the car is to handle. Verstappen even suggested that if Lawson were driving a Racing Bulls car instead of Red Bull's, he would likely perform much better. This statement raises an important question. Is Red Bull's car fundamentally too difficult for a second driver to master, or is the issue with Lawson himself? Verstappen's assessment suggests that the car demands a very specific driving style, one that only a handful of drivers can truly excel with. While some may argue that this is part of what makes a champion, it also highlights why so many talented drivers have struggled within the team's system. Red Bull's approach has always been ruthless when it comes to driver performance. If a driver fails to meet expectations, the team does not hesitate to make changes. The pressure is now mounting on Lawson, and with Tsunoda proving to be a consistent performer, discussions about a potential seat swap are intensifying. But even if the team moves forward with promoting Tsunoda, would that truly solve the problem, or would it simply shift the struggle from one driver to another? Verstappen understands the difficulties that come with adapting to Red Bull's car, and his words make it clear that even the most skilled drivers can struggle. He has repeatedly stated that the car is built to suit his aggressive driving style, which prioritizes a sharp front-end response. While this gives him an edge, it also makes the car incredibly unstable at the rear, a trait that can be punishing for any driver who isn't fully in sync with its characteristics. A car with such an unpredictable nature demands absolute precision, and any miscalculation can result in a major loss of control. Verstappen thrives under these conditions, but for someone like Lawson, who is still adjusting, it has been a nightmare. This is why Tsunoda's potential promotion isn't necessarily a guaranteed fix. He too could find himself struggling with the same issues. Interestingly, Verstappen has expressed frustration with Red Bull's tendency to immediately seek a driver swap rather than focus on improving the car itself. He has seen this happen before, most notably when Sergio Perez faced difficulties with the car's handling. Instead of refining the setup to accommodate different driving styles, the team has often chosen to put pressure on the second driver to simply adapt or leave. This strategy might work for a team focused on short-term success, but over time, it risks creating instability within the lineup. Reports suggest that Verstappen is not pleased with how the team is handling the situation. Rather than working on refining the car's balance, Red Bull seems to be considering replacing Lawson altogether. This mirrors a pattern seen in the past. When Perez struggled, the focus was more on his performances than on making the car more adaptable. Now, history appears to be repeating itself. Red Bull's team principal has attempted to defend Lawson despite his poor results. He pointed out that the Racing Bull's car is inherently more stable and easier to drive, making it more forgiving for drivers. In contrast, Red Bull's car is more aggressive, requiring precise inputs and a deep understanding of its unpredictable nature. This means that any driver stepping into Verstappen's team must be prepared for an extreme learning curve. While the team may be considering a mid-season change, there's also the possibility that Tsunoda's promotion could create new challenges instead of solving existing ones. Despite his strong performances, there's no guarantee that he will instantly adapt to Red Bull's demands. If he struggles, the team could find itself in the same situation once again, searching for yet another replacement. For Tsunoda, this potential promotion is both an opportunity and a risk. On one hand, it would be the biggest moment of his career, a chance to prove himself in one of the most dominant teams in Formula One. But on the other, stepping into a car that even Verstappen finds difficult to handle could backfire. If he struggles, his long-term future in Red Bull's system could be in jeopardy. Meanwhile, Lawson is under immense pressure. He was brought into the team with high expectations, but failing to deliver results is putting his seat at risk. While he has shown flashes of potential, the brutal reality of Formula One is that patience is in short supply. Teams are constantly looking for the next best option, and Red Bull is no exception. Adding to the uncertainty, there's growing speculation about Isaac Hadjar. The young French driver has been making waves with impressive performances, despite his inexperience. Red Bull's advisors have taken notice, and with Tsunoda and Lawson both facing uncertainty, Hadjar's name is starting to appear in conversations about the team's future lineup. If Red Bull decides to look beyond both of its current options, Hadjar could emerge as a serious contender for the seat. The situation has become even more complicated with recent comments from Red Bull's management. While they haven't explicitly confirmed any changes, the way they've spoken about Lawson's struggles and Tsunoda's potential promotion suggests that decisions are being considered behind the scenes. If the team believes that swapping drivers mid-season will boost their overall performance, they won't hesitate to make a move. At the same time, there's a growing sense that Red Bull's focus should be on stabilizing the car rather than constantly rotating drivers. If Verstappen, a four-time world champion, is openly discussing how difficult the car is to handle, then it's clear the issue is more than just driver performance. While Lawson has underperformed, it's also fair to ask whether any driver, in his position, could have done significantly better under the same conditions. This uncertainty isn't just affecting Lawson, it's also putting pressure on Tsunoda. If he is promoted and struggles, it could harm his long-term prospects. The expectation is that he should be able to deliver immediately, but Red Bull's car isn't one that allows for easy adaptation. If he fails to match Verstappen's pace, he could quickly find himself in the same situation Lawson is currently facing. All of this uncertainty raises a crucial question. What is Red Bull's long-term plan? If they continue to cycle through drivers without addressing the core issue of car stability, the second seat will remain a revolving door. Stability is key in Formula One, and constantly shifting drivers could ultimately hurt the team more than it helps. For Lawson, time is running out. If he doesn't turn things around soon, his F1 career with Red Bull could be over before it even truly begins. Meanwhile, Tsunoda's fate is also hanging in the balance. While he's performed well at Racing Bulls, a promotion to Red Bull could either cement his place in the team or expose new weaknesses. And with Isaac Hadjar emerging as a potential wildcard, the situation becomes even more unpredictable. At the end of the day, the only certainty is that Red Bull will do whatever they believe gives them the best chance to win. Whether that means sticking with Lawson, promoting Tsunoda, or looking elsewhere entirely, the decision will come down to what serves the team's ambitions best. One thing is for sure, whoever takes that second seat will have to prove they belong, and quickly.